The new time frame begins fading in from black from the previous scene. This fade in represents a new time period. This frame consists of a long shot of the couple sleeping in bed. The reason for the long shot is making the rest of the location visible and the mise-en-scène all viewable. By making these visible, it helps concentrate the activity around them. This makes the long shot cause anxiety and fear, because although the reduced visibility causes anxiety conventionally, making all the surroundings viewable to let us know if anything does happen, we're going to have to see it. We then brace ourselves for therefore causing suspense to rise. The stationary handheld camera gives a feeling of helplessness. We can't move away from this position. It's a feeling of despair that we are just going to have to sit back and watch this couple be tormented by the paranormal. The lighting in this shot is dark because it's setting nighttime, connoting the standard mystery and eeriness. However, the night vision setting gives a sense of realism and reality, making us feel part of the mise-en-scène, whether we like it or not. The higher key lighting above the couple suggests Levi Strauss's binary opposition theory, light versus dark. The flashing rec button was provided using Photoshop, setting it to blink in Final Cut Pro, along with a timescale along the bottom in the right hand corner. This gives a definite sense of realistic home footage that the genre has to deliver, making it believable and intensifying the fear. Fading to black using a cross dissolve and re-entering fading in from the previous frame, this gives a sense of another new time frame, which can also be displayed by the new time sequence in the bottom right. During this frame, I decided to add static sound effects, likewise from the previous. This adds realistic sound effects that unfortunately my camera wasn't able to pick up. I found this to be a useful inclusion to the frame. During the sequence, a loud smashing glass wakes the couple up. This was provided using GarageBand software. This is when Todorov's equilibrium is definitely broken, as there is clear evidence of the disruption. This develops Barth's Enigma code, making the audience question to what just broke the glass, mostly because we don't get to see what broke it. This creates a sense of tension and suspense as the fear rises within the audience. It then cuts to black for a split second, and we quickly reopens the frame with a high key lighting of close-up of the female's feet. This frame connotes the males just picked up the camera off the stand as they go to investigate. This handheld movement develops the disruption as the audience, so they don't have a clear image of the happenings. This raises tension and anxiety. The next frame progresses the anxiety further as the amateur camera movement distorts the audience's view on the scene, raising the tension. The final shot of the scene cuts to a point of view shot of the downstairs being ruined. The distance of the location to the camera evokes a sense of between the subject in matter and the audience, as if they can't get too close. This shot is the final part of the disruption of Todorov's equilibrium, and becomes clear there is a real problem. This sense of realism provokes fear within the audience, as it firmly states the genre as a horror. The genre of horror has instigated the contested space is being argued over, Schatz, which being between the supernatural versus the natural, Levi Strauss, and right now the only hero that could be suggested is to be the male. However, the couple are the pawns in the situation right now, stuck in the institutionalized state. Romantics suggest that the male is the hero, taking upon himself the problems of the state, e.g. the male trying to catch the spirit and the ghost. During my research, it was clear that the use of captions throughout the film can help progress the narrative, but also help promote the film. It can then break the trailer into sections of narrative. Therefore, I decided that it was necessary to include these throughout my trailer. The caption is of a quote from a film review respected magazine. These help promote the film by using an expert's opinion. I used the effect Bad TV during the creation of this caption, as I created it in Photoshop and imported it onto Final Cut. I feel as though this gives a brilliant distorted effect to the caption, helping to drive the title of Supernatural and the genre. Other effects included the addition of a loud non-diegetic boom to stress the emphasis on the quote. I added to that the size of the caption going from small to large in a split second. I also felt this added to the emphasis to the importance. The next frame is an Axio cut made famous in the Jaws films, in which it uses fast-paced editing to track towards an object, getting closer and closer to the subject. This fast-paced editing creates major tension towards the object in matter, instead of using tracking shot on a dolly using a slow movement, which can often cause boredom within the frame. The speed of the style of an Axio cut is more fast-paced editing alternative. Added to this, a large boom increasing in volume each time a new frame emphasizes the cut down the corridor. I think the early use of this sequence in the trailer helps pull the narrative through the text, making it clear that the corridor has significant importance towards the story as a whole. This therefore creates enigmas to why the corridor is of importance and what's through the door at the end of it. It then cuts to a medium long shot of the female in despair. This creates panic within the audience. It could suggest that this is using hypodermic syringe model, that the audience is weak and the media is powerful, through the panic and fear, and as the characters have little control over the situation. This becomes clear as through the panic and fear through the couple. This medium shot in night vision makes the couple's emotion visible. However, this reduces ability of surroundings, making them suspense right. It is the point of view shot of the male trying to reach the female in her panic, therefore suggesting total darkness within the frame, a typical convention of the horror genre. This panic of the female reaching out to the male suggests he is the weaker couple, while the male remains calm in the situation, maybe playing the hero. During the sequence, we start to hear the non-diegetic sounds in the background start to heighten as the suspense grows even further. Following another caption, it then cuts to a medium shot of the male at the computer during daytime. A medium shot was the most appropriate during the scene because it was a change of location and the mise-en-scène had to be visible so the audience could understand their new surroundings. It then cuts to an extreme close-up of the computer screen and the male explains how another woman having the same problems. Finally, the sequence cuts to a close-up of the female. This shot is the most important as it shows off the female's emotion closely, as we already understand the location in previous shots. This short sequence is of greater importance to the narrative as a whole, as the first part in which the characters begin to attempt to repair the disruption, stage 4 of Todorov's Equilibrium. During this, the volume of non-diegetic sound effects begin to rise and tension begins to escalate as the female explains that this other woman's death, creating enigmas to why and will it happen to herself. The couple now become the fools of the state, responding to the madness the paranormal are playing on them, by McConnell. The preferred reading at this point would be that the media text is stronger than the audience and the paranormal object is feared by the audience.